Hello, hello. Does anybody hear me?
Hey
Yes,
there,
no?
Donna.
Oh, thank you, Brian. How are you today?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm fantastic, thank you. Isn't this
Hey, Pam.
wonderful? Zoom and technology just changing our worlds left and right, aren't they?
They are.
Yeah, I was just watching that Bill Riser
Yeah,
with all of his apps and everything.
yep.
Um, a lot of toys out there.
Thank you. I had my Alexa going, or Jen's Alexa going, and it was confusing me, so she turned off the Alexa. Alrighty, so I got to share my screen, and let's see, where did that come from? Go up here. Okay, shake your heads or let me know. Can you see my screen?
Good to
Okay,
go.
thank you. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so we're going to start out with our team meeting. We're ready to go. It's time to get started. So DR Horton is our sponsor today. I'm not sure if our DR Horton rep is on the line here. Do we have a DR Horton on the rep on the Zoom today?
It's supposed to be Amanda, and she's not on here. Let me just make sure she's not having issues getting on.
Okay. All right. Well, while we wait, we can always come back to that. While we wait, we're going to move on, and we're all going to wish Pam Doberly a happy birthday, Pam. Woohoo!
Pam, happy birthday.
Are the numbers going, are you going backwards in your years rather than continuing to go forwards?
Absolutely. Yeah, I've stopped counting,
Right.
It's too much math for me. I have to just like let it go.
Me too. I totally get it. So did you do anything special for your birthday? Was the mountain trip your birthday present or?
Well, we went out to dinner to the Bascom's Chop House on Saturday night. Had a fabulous dinner there.
Yeah.
And then yesterday evening after dinner went to Cold Stone and I had a fancy ice cream thing. So that was kind of like the end of the day there. So I celebrated twice.
Good for you. You should celebrate twice. You should celebrate all week. You should celebrate all month as far as I'm concerned.
There you now. I like the way you think.
Yes. So, tell us, how is Bascom's Chop House as far as masks and keeping people distant? How do you want to just give us a little insight on that?
Yeah, I felt like they did a good job of distancing. You had to wear a mask until you got to your table, then you could take your mask off. The servers all wore masks. The food was superb. Some of the places we've eaten in, the food was a little off, and I think it was just the situation, but their food and service was absolutely amazing. So we had a really good meal.
Good.
And they didn't have a huge crowd there, so we didn't wait, it was really nice.
Yep. I met my parents for dinner not that long ago at a Carrabba's, and we felt the same way, that they did everything really nice. They kept everybody separated. You didn't feel like anybody was even close to you, and everybody wore masks. And when the waitress brought us our entree, and we were trying to give her the dirty salad plates and give her back those, she says, I have to deliver your food first before I can touch any of the dirty plates and to remove them from the table. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, they were following some good rules. So we enjoyed it as well.
Very cool. So yeah, we've shifted in years past from Ruth Chris. For years, the birthday place to go with Ruth was Ruth Chris in Tampa, but we've decided we really like Bascom's Chop House better now. So
Good.
we're fans
And
there
it's
now.
closer. Awesome.
Yeah, it's closer too. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed your birthday and a little ice cream treat as well.
Thank you.
All right, Pam.
Okay, so we have some more congratulations going on to Brian and Tammy McInerney. Are you guys on? Yeah, there's Tammy. I see Tammy's name lit up. So congratulations to you guys, capping, woohoo, 100% from here on out.
Go, Tammy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so hopefully everybody's still following the DTD2. Are you making your calls and following? We are now on N and R. So anybody want to comment about their DTD2 letters and their nurturing their relationships? Everybody get through M and X last week? Anybody? Nobody? All right, I got through, I think I have 2 more names from M and X to finish up, and then I'll be starting on my N and Rs. Okay, so I'm gonna guess, Taylor, that we still don't have DR Horton on the line.
I don't see him on here. Taylor maybe is trying to get a hold of him.
Okay, okay. Let's go over some Market Watch numbers. So over here on the left is about the past 7 days, and over on the right is the past 24 hours. So just the past 24 hours, we had 254 new listings, 166 price adjustments, 101 that came back on the market, 273 that sold, and 349 under contract. Do any of those numbers kind of like stand out to you and go, wow, that's interesting? Because there's one that does stand out to me. Anybody else have one that stands out?
For me, it's that back on the market thing. Yuck, I don't like that.
Yeah, that one is interesting too. I agree with that. And who knows what's going on with why things are coming back on the market. And I don't think we've ever really tracked that one before to really know, is 100 reasonable to expect or not. But I'm going to guess if we had 349, well, you had 273 that sold or 349 under contract, that's about a third of them coming back on the market. So I don't think that's normal.
No, it feels high. And I've gotten several calls from agents in the office dealing with situations where one side or the other was bailing at odd times during the contract process. So
okay,
partly it's a financing thing. I think we're still experiencing some issues with financing.
okay.
Yeah, either buyer job circumstances or lender criteria changes. It's just interesting times.
Yeah, so it sounds like a lot of those could be COVID affected.
Sometimes it could be.
Lender changing their guidelines probably might have come from COVID, or a buyer that's job is changed might have come from COVID as well.
Yeah, I think we really need to be more diligent than ever when on the seller side, when we receive an offer, and on the buyer side, when we're presenting an offer, to make sure that we've had a conversation with the loan officer and confirmed that credit's been pulled and gotten some kind of validation from that lender that indeed they are confident that they're going to be able to close the loan. Are there any other odd circumstances going on that they know about that potentially could prevent that, you know?
Right, absolutely. And when I call lenders, whether we had this COVID or not, one of the first things I start out by saying is, I'm not asking you to tell me anything you're not supposed to tell me. So we try to, calm the waters right up front. And then as I'm asking questions, one of the ones I ask, do you foresee any hurdles that we have to overcome? Meaning anything in their credit or reserves or, gift letters, who knows what it might be. But I usually just ask, is there a hurdle that we're going to have to overcome through this transaction? He doesn't have to tell me what it is, but some conversation about it would be great. Okay. So the other thing I noticed on these numbers is we have 254 new listings and 349 went under contract. We are outselling what's coming on the market. So that would be great numbers to talk to your seller about, that it's a great time to sell right now. You can list it and get it under contract fairly quickly and for the most amount of money. We're getting the most amount of money for properties than you've ever had before, ever. So that's why it would be a good time for a seller to list their property with you. Now, if you're talking to expireds or for sale by owners, looking at that back on market number and knowing it's about a third of our market, That would be some good conversation to have with a expired or for sale by owner who thinks that they don't need a realtor to get their property sold. Well, what are you going to do, Mr. Seller, if 1 in 3 properties are coming back on the market, and perhaps you might be one of those 1 in 3, and you've had your house off the market for 2 or 3 weeks, only to come back on the market? What would you do then? And so having those conversations and asking questions, that's always the best way, questions. Okay, over here on the 7 days, over 7 days, we had just over 1,000 properties listed. We had 1,900 go under contract and 1,300 that sold. So again, we are outpacing what is coming on the market. So everybody needs to be out there doing their best, getting listings. Anybody have any comments about the numbers, questions about it, or?
Yeah, Donna, I just also wanted to mention, in case nobody else noticed, that since we started doing this 7-day, the past couple of months, that properties sold category, the last one on the end, that has consistently been -%. This is one of the first week it's actually been in the positive. So it's actually better than 8 to 14 days ago. So I just want to point that out, that we are seeing that rise. Things are starting to shift back toward normal.
Awesome. Thank you so much for pointing that out. Definitely appreciate that. Okay. Still no DR Horton?
Nope, Amanda's actually here with us now. She just joined.
Oh, great. So we'll go back to DR Horton's slide and we'll give Amanda the floor for a few minutes.
Hi, thank you so much. I'm so sorry. I was in a non-existent waiting room. I clicked on the wrong link, so I was waiting in a non-existent waiting room. So my apologies. Thank you all for having us. There was some really great information I was finding interesting to listen to some of the things you all were talking about. But I'm Amanda May. I am the West Florida Marketing Manager for DR Horton. So I just want to take a quick couple of minutes of your time to tell you who we are and what we have to offer you as real estate agents. So we are the nation's largest builder. We have been so since 2002. Every year since 2002, we sell and close more homes than any other home builder in the nation. The really great thing about us and why we stand out, I think, against some other builders is that we really truly have a home for every stage in life. So we have product lines from entry level, value, price, and payment sensitive buyers, all the way up through first and second move up. We've got a luxury home line, and then we also have homes that are geared toward the active adult. So truly every stage in life. You'll see those different product lines in different brand names. So in addition to DR Horton, you'll see Express Homes in the market. You'll see Emerald Homes and Freedom Homes. Those are all part of the DR Horton family of brands. So you'll see those out there. Another thing that makes us really different from other builders in the market, and which provides a lot of value and benefit to your buyers, is that we are, as of about 2 years ago, we're building complete concrete block construction. So that's both on the first floor of the home and on the second floor. And that's going to be in both single family and multifamily. So single family and townhomes. It's huge. It lowers your buyers' insurance premiums by about 15%. In Florida, one of the biggest reasons that we made this choice is because, we're building and we're finishing the exterior of the home with stucco. And with the rain that we have in our area, you get cracks in the stucco, and you've got that second floor frame and you have stucco against frame. There's a lot of opportunity for water infiltration. So having stucco against concrete block keeps the home much safer from that water intrusion. So that's huge. We did not pass the cost of that along to our buyers. We absorbed the cost. It costs anywhere from $5,000 to $7,000 per house to do the second story in all concrete block. And that was something that we just felt was the right thing to do. So that's something you won't find with another production builder in the area. We have in the Tampa Bay area right now, we have about 35 active communities. We have another 15 or so in the Sarasota Manatee area. And then we're also up into Hernando County, all the way up through Alachua. So we've got communities all over, depending on where your buyers are interested in being. We have a really competitive Realtor Rewards program. So you make more with every sale with us. Your first sale will welcome you to the program. Your second sale is going to be a $1,000 bonus. Your third and fourth will be a $1,500 bonus each. And then once you get to your fifth sale, you're making an extra 1%. That is on top of 3%. There are some other builders in the market that have dropped their realtor commissions to 2%. Ours is 3% and will always remain 3%. A big thing that I like to get across when I'm talking to real estate agents is that you guys are our marketing plan. You guys are our bread and butter, and we value you all more than any, potential marketing medium, if you will, then it's out there. We're not on TV, we're not on radio. We don't do heavy digital advertising. Our marketing initiatives are all about treating you well, providing you and your buyers a good experience, and making you all happy, because we know you all have the relationships with the buyers, so we need you. As of this past year, 86% of our sales were with a real estate agent. Most builders, the national average is about 60 to 65%, so we're really proud of that 86%, and we'd be happy to pay a co-broke on 100% of our sales. So we really appreciate everything that you all do for us. Couple of things that we have going on that really benefits your buyers. Red tag sale. So every quarter we have a red tag sales event. It's a national new home sales event that we opt into. So we've got select inventory with, very pretty well reduced pricing. So that's going on through this Sunday. And then we're also offering $10,000 towards closing costs. Our typical incentive is $4,500. The last few months we've been offering $10,000. That is through the end of this month, and we may extend into August as well. Especially with all that's going on right now in the world and with COVID. A lot of our buyers, their big hot button is money out of pocket. So we've seen a lot of success with this incentive, offering them additional closing costs. And then we have inventory. You all were just talking about inventory, and, we're kind of outselling the inventory that's in the market. We are a volume builder, so we constantly have inventory in the ground. We pulled back a tiny bit in the beginning of COVID to just kind of see how things were going. And we've had record sales months in our division for the past 3 months. So we just threw a ton of homes into the ground. So we already have great inventory, and we're going to have even more for you guys. So, if you can't find inventory, check out drhorton.com, because we definitely have inventory in the ground for any time frames that your buyers have.
Amanda, did you say there was anything in Pinellas County around by us?
We don't have anything in Pinellas County now. We've got a few things under contract, some land deals under contract that we're working through, but we're not quite far along enough in the process where I can talk much about what we have under contract. But we really want to be in Pinellas County. It's been a couple years since we've had some communities in Pinellas, so we're working towards having more.
Okay, great. And because of the wonderful technical difficulties that we started out with today, you've got about 1 more minute to wrap it up, if that's all right.
Absolutely. So that's really everything I have to say. Reach out to us anytime you guys have questions. We have an online sales consultant that really is here for you. Our online sales consultant will sift through the MLS for you. She will set an appointment for you to visit our communities. She can register your buyers over the phone. So we love you guys. And like I said, you all are our bread and butter. We love having you all as partners. And we understand how important our relationship is with you. So we just really appreciate what you do. And we want to make sure you have a great experience when you're selling with us.
Thank you so much, Amanda. You are welcome to stick around for the rest of our meeting. And now we've got a great speaker lined up for everybody today. And I believe she's already on, Jennie Wolek, and she is here. Have you unmuted, Jennie?
I have not. Hi.
There you are. Did I pronounce your name right, Wolek?
Wolek, that works, yes.
Wolek. Okay, great. Do you need the screen?
No, I don't.
Oh, all right. Well, then the floor is all yours, Jennie.
All right. You want to stop sharing your screen?
Yep, I'll get rid of that here as I figure it out.
Yeah. Always the fun.
Mm-hmm. Okay. There it is. There we go.
Well, hi guys. I'll just let you know. I see some familiar faces. Hi
Hi,
guys.
Jenny.
Hello. Hi Garrett. Hi Pam. Yay. How exciting. Well, what an honor to be asked to hang out with you guys today. I see some of your faces. So many of you are hiding your face. I get it. I understand. You just want to be on the down low, incognito, whatever. I get it. So grateful to be here with you guys. Since I see some familiar faces, I'd like to just first start by thanking you for allowing me to be with you. And then also, is there anything that you want to make sure that we for sure talk about today that I can put on my list to make sure that we hit?
Well, for me, it would be any of your experience on your Facebook advertising
Okay.
or where you're seeing success in talking to more people.
All right. That can definitely be a topic. Garrett, looks like you want to say something.
Talk about video and what it's done for your business.
That wasn't on my list. I think it should be. Awesome.
Yes, it should.
All right. Well, cool. Well, you know, I have been in real estate for 19 years and I've been through lots of different shifts, and wow, isn't this a fun one? Is that what we're using, the word fun? Well, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Jennie Wolek. I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma, the middle of America. I'm a Sooner born and Sooner bred. When I die, I'm Sooner dead. And unfortunately, we probably won't have any football this year. So let's just take a moment to let that sink in. Well, so I have a small team here in Tulsa, and you know, it's been really fun. I can share with you what we've been doing and how we've been operating over the past few months. Honestly, it's crazy. We last year helped 145 families. We were small and mighty last year. We've had a little bit of growth since then, but really it was 5 of us. And we helped 145 families. More than half our business come from our database. And then another 30% of our business comes from agent to agent referrals. So thank you. And what we really see is even that agent database, agent referrals is its own version of a database. So when, you know, thinking about what I want to share with you guys today, I'm always going to start any conversation that I have with our mindset and our mission. And then we'll move into database and how we love on our people and how we generate lots of referrals and reviews. That sound good? All right, well, let's do it. You know, for me, being in this business as long as I have, and many of you have been around as long as me, if not longer, you know that this is a tough gig. You got to have a great, strong mindset. You got to know what you're going to do and who you're going to connect with, and you got to stay positive and push forward every day. Well, back in mid-March, you know, we'd set all these really big goals for 2020. It was going to be the best year ever. And then this thing hits us. COVID-19 comes around. And I don't know if you guys have been on all of the shift pivot calls with James Shaw every morning like I have, but I'll tell you what, that is definitely a great way to start your morning. I see so many of you nodding. You know the value that we're getting there. It's just getting us into the right mindset, a little bit of training, education, and camaraderie, and knowing that we are in this together. You know, it's so cool because, well, cool, not cool, because here we have these tactics called this book called Shift that Gary Keller had already created for us. So whenever it all hit in mid-March for us, I mean, it took me a minute of chaos and adrenaline of holy cow, what do we do? And then I just took a step back and I started breathing and I realized, hold on, time out. I already have the playbook on what to do here. And we've already built our calendar on how to operate. And once I realized that, you know, so many of us real estate agents can get bogged down in all the things that we wish that we could do or implement into our business. And then we end up not doing any of them because we're just in overwhelm. And so as soon as I realized, hold on, I've already built out the calendar with the playbook on how we're going to be successful this year. I just have to keep running that play. And for us, the running of the play is time blocking our lead generation and our follow-up time and our appointments. And now we just had to tweak them and adjust how we were going to do that. You know, so I'd say to you, we're more than halfway through 2020. How are you doing on your goals? Did you need to reset them? Did you need to adjust? And it's totally okay if you reset the goals, as long as you didn't reset the purpose. Your purpose should not have changed. Your vision for this year, for next year, for the future should not change. Only the activities that help you achieve that vision may need to be adjusted right now. So just some simple things that we are still operating at this same level is we, as a team, there's now 4 agents and me. We've got 2 new agents, 2 new people said, hey, I want to get into real estate during a pandemic, and they've joined our team. So there you go. And they're already off to great success. And then we have 2 admin, an operations manager that helps with listings, and then a transaction coordinator. We have a part-time marketing team that helps us with some of our marketing as well. But no matter what, from just the very beginning, we just switched what was normally our 8:15. We used Google Hangout. Back then, we would have a Google Hangout call because everyone was dropping off kids and driving to work. So we did a call, and we just did what we call a huddle. So every morning we would share our gratitude of what we're grateful for that day, and then we would share what our goals were for the day. And that just as soon as this whole coronavirus hit us, we just shifted to now it's a Zoom call. So just like you guys are looking here at the screen and you can put on the gallery view, we just have a call every single morning as a team at 8:15. We share our gratitude and our goals. And then me and the agents hop back on Zoom together from 9 to 11 every day. I just got off. We were on our team Zoom, and we do the same thing. We just mute ourselves and can see each other. We know that we're there, and we've got that camaraderie and making sure that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. So that's just a couple ways that we've stayed really connected, although we've seen each other in person one time. I know how your guys' numbers look because I watch the news sometimes, not all the time. However, in Oklahoma, we opened up fast too. We're in the same boat as you guys. Our numbers are going back up again as well. So a few weeks ago, we finally said, okay, team, we're opening up. We're going to get back together. And we met in the office one day and had a team meeting in one space. And then the next day, Mindy, a newer agent on the team, says, yeah, guys, so a buyer I met with on Friday might have been exposed. And I said, okay, back to home offices. It's great seeing you guys. I cannot risk any of you getting sick. I cannot risk, this is your livelihood and your health matters to me. And so we have really not seen each other. So you can, and listen to our numbers so far. We have 105 families under contract and closed this year so far. 105 families with us not seeing each other or being in the office together since mid-March. What do you guys think about that?
That tells me that you've got one heck of a system in place.
Yeah, I love systems, Garrett.
I know.
Yes, I do. So that's what I want to share with you guys is that you don't have to physically be in the same space. Now, what we can talk about today are the ways that we've stayed connected with our database and that we've made sure that we're growing our database. Because for me, I learned a while back, there's this red book and it's called The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. And it just tells me exactly what I need to do to build $1 million business, to be a millionaire. And then it tells me then the goal of it is to grow your database, because the more people that are in your database, then the more people that you should be able to help. It's simple math. I'm not even very smart at math. I do know though that if I have more people in my database, the opportunity of helping more comes along with that. So currently the number that my coach and I talk about, and this is not a hard and fast number, because in the old days it was the 12-to-2 ratio. If you have a Met database that you're systematically marketing to, that you could predict a 12-to-2 return. Now, the number now that we play around with is just 10%. So say you have 1,000 people in your Met database right now. You know them, or they know you, they know what you do, you've had a conversation about real estate, and really it's easy to get up to that number over time. People that you come in contact with, past clients, friends, family, etc. And so 1,000 people equals 100 families every year that you can help just out of those people. So imagine if you have 2,000 people that know what you do and who you are. Now we just have to apply great systems and touches and reasons for them to want to reach out to us when it's that time. I think I saw a question pop up, and I'll go ahead and ask that. So on categorizing and updating our database, thanks Dan, that's always a great question, is, you know, my real success from my database came about 3.5, 4 years ago. And if any of you've ever attended Family Reunion and got to see me and James Shaw do our show that we do every year.
How long did it take you to do that? Because it sounded like it took you the better part of a year or a couple of years to get everyone, like to clean it up and get it organized in a functional way.
You're right. So what had happened was, 4 or 5 years ago, I had a coach that said, "Hey, Jenny, how many people are in your Met database?" And I said, well, you know, there's probably, well, I didn't know the answer because I also started using this, the reasons rather than results. I said, you know, well, there were some old Craigslist leads thrown in there, some old web leads, some old expireds, there you go. The time that I, you know, met those people that one time, all thrown into the same pot. Mm-hmm. And what I was realizing was that I was spending money and time on people that would never use me no matter what. Mm-hmm. Now, don't get me wrong. If you have an email address, you can have part of your campaign and your system just to go out to those people. And if they happen to respond back, wow, that's a win. But what was happening is I was having, for example, and we'll get to this, how it layers down later, is I was having past clients and I'm consistently reaching out to them and I was getting my feelings hurt if they didn't respond to me. And if you've done this long enough, you guys know that all of a sudden they respond and it's a come list me. So the value of that lesson was keep doing it, keep leaving messages, keep reaching out. And then I got to get real clear on the different levels of my database. So kind of what Dan's talking about is I personally went through every human. And back then I used the do the database to method. If you guys have taken never ending referrals, I used the alphabet method of where it was broken up differently because I'd attempted it many times. I never got all the way through. So the same people were always getting called every now and then, so inconsistently. And so it took me over 6 months of going through every human in my database, removing them if I have no clue who they are. If they just had an email, they could stay. I just wasn't going to put any more thought into them. Touching all the people and recategorizing them. So that's when I made a new tag called a Met. So it was very clearly defined. If we have gone back and forth, you get to be a Met and you get to stay in my database. So if you looked at my big database, you've got the funnel at the top. You got the everybody. And then you bring down the funnel to the Mets. We've had a conversation, you know who I am, we have worked together, etc. And now we got a couple years ago even more purposeful with our database because, like I said, I'd call those past clients and they might have had we might have had a good transaction together and they're just not referring type people. So they can still stay in our world. They can still be invited to stuff. I'm just not going to put out extra energy if I may not get the love in return. So that's when we created what we call our Rockstar program. And this would be your VIPs, your allied resources, your core advocates. So if you are looking at the Circle and Millionaire Real Estate Agent, the goal for us as a team is to get more people in that middle target section so we can love on them more and they reciprocate that as well with us.
Could I ask a quick question on that?
Yeah.
So I have 4 groups. I guess this is the old like A, B, C's, and not Mets. Kind of, that sounds like kind of what you're doing. And what I haven't yet done is gotten everyone categorized properly. And then periodically, I guess someone goes from one category to another based on whether I am in a relationship with them or not. If I'm in a relationship, maybe they become more of a core person, or if I just lose touch with them and they forget who I am, and now, either have to build that relationship or they kind of fall back out a little bit. And it sounds like you have a different communication plan with every one of those people. And it also sounds like with like Facebook leads and open house leads, you're going to make a decision on whether they're going to be someone who you either want to be in a relationship with, maybe you're not in a relationship with, but you might want to. So you might put them as a potential rock star, or you might just put them as an acquaintance or someone that you don't know. Is that kind of how you're doing that?
Honestly, any new person that comes into our world is automatically tagged as the big, basically unmet. We just call that our sphere of influence. And then they're going to be tagged as a team SOI. They are a team sphere of influence. Now, the difference of that is that if, Dan, you were on my team and an agent and you brought in somebody, then it would be Dan's SOI. Or Pam's SOI. Or Mindy's SOI, so that way, if they ever left the team, we can just pull them out and give them right back to them. We don't want to keep other people's database. So everyone comes into our world as the common 2 tags, and they become a MET whenever they start working with us. And then they become a rock star when they share a referral with us. Now we're just relaunching our Rockstar program, so I'll share it with you guys soon. If you're not in my closed Facebook group, I have one called Your Journey with Jennie, and it's just for real estate agents. So if you guys want to ask to join my closed group, I share all our documents and secrets and systems and stuff inside of there. So I'll be sharing that because we're going to relaunch this, because what I think you even mentioned there, Dan, is that what I realized is that, at least in Oklahoma, until last November, it was illegal for us to publicly ask for reviews online or do giveaways online. I don't know if you got, you're looking at me like crazy talk. Yeah, I know. So in Oklahoma, we finally now can publicly advertise giveaways and reverse bold 100s and all of that stuff. And so now, why wouldn't we want to just advertise it to the world? Because then we can capture more people and get them into our center core advocates. So every person that comes in follows the same plan and then gets applied to the right action plan afterwards. To kind of move on from all that though, how we have been loving on our people over the years has grown and changed. And the thing that stays the same is that every person in our local database gets 2 video emails a month from us. We use a company called Viral Marketing, and I've used them forever. If you want to go to my YouTube channel, you can see some really bad videos. So just to touch on what Garrett was mentioning was, I've done video forever, 2014 or 15, and they were terrible. And that's okay, because I've gotten a little better over time. And what do we say? Time on the task over time. You're going to get a little better at working on your skills and mastery. Nope, so far from mastery. And the point is, though, is that what adding video to my business did was it allowed me to be a real person. So I wasn't great at bragging on me or the team or our successes. I wasn't great at that. And so why not instead just hop on a video and say, hey, you know what? I was just talking to a seller and they were having some really big concerns about selling their home these days. And so I just thought I'd make a quick video and share with you what I shared with them. So here's what I found. Actually, our inventory is really low and we can sell homes safely. So then anytime you are having conversations with buyers and sellers, make a quick video about it and just put it out there to the world and share, I had this question. I thought I'd answer it for everyone. Or here's ways that we give back to our community, and you promote local nonprofits or local businesses. And if you guys have taken Boulder before, remember the Yellow Pages exercise, and you grow your database by adding in other business people. That's one thing that I did immediately out of the gate with all of this shutdown early on, was I just hopped on Zoom and did videos side by side in the gallery view and interviewed local restaurant owners who were struggling to get through all this, and then nonprofits who still needed money and donations, and then restaurants, etc., or other business owners. And so I have a Facebook page, and you guys can go look at it. It's called Tulsa Looks Good on You. And I'd already had this Facebook page that I'd created a long time ago that just kind of floated out there because I'm in charge of it, so it's not always getting updated the way that it should. And so it's just a place where I was putting things to promote the great things Tulsa has to offer. Well, as I started doing this, guess what? A system needs to be created, because once I do one thing more than once, I know that I need a system around it. So then, for example, Donna, if you're a small business owner here in town, I would either message you on Facebook, or maybe we had a warm connection through friends or family. And I'd say, hey, Donna, I know that you own ABC Company. I love promoting small and local businesses. Would you be up for a 3 to 5 video with me where I can put it on Facebook and share it with our database and our network? They always say yes. And so I just send them a Calendly link. You guys have heard of Calendly.com. I send them a Calendly link, and it has the choices of when they can hop on my calendar. And then in the setting up, you can do a Calendly for free. You can just, FYI, it's just a tool to help you set appointments. And I would, in the requirements, they just have to put in their name, their phone number, their address, and their email. So now I'm capturing all their contact information, and then I'm going to promote them. I'm going to do a video. So guess what? They get added to my database. Isn't the goal to grow our database? So in this time of COVID, I've done probably 40 different small business owner videos. That's new people. They've seen, they're getting value from us because we're promoting them and sharing them. When it comes time to needing some real estate help, you think they might think of us, because now they're in our drip campaign. Now they're getting my 2 videos a month. Now they're going to get invited to our client events and our virtual events. So that's what everybody in our database would get no matter what, 2 videos a month from us. And then we were a team that had really just started doing client events. And guess what's all canceled? So instead, the events that we threw in were reverse bold 100s. I know that you guys have heard of the reverse bold 100. Super fast, because I know we're going to be short on time. The idea is that you have some amazing giveaway, and you have one day in a week that everybody calls in to sign up to get registered to win. Well, the key to the whole reverse bold 100 is that in that day, we use a Google form. And so in the Google form, when they call in, I'd say, yeah, hey, Dan, thank you so much for calling in. And let me just go ahead and confirm some of your contact information real quick. Okay, your name, your phone number, your email, your home address. Okay, perfect. I can get you registered into the contest. Oh, and by the way, if you can think of somebody who may need to buy or sell a house, I can put you in the drawing twice. Can you think of anybody? Oh, okay, great. What's their name? So now you've not only confirmed all their contact info, we're advertising this giveaway to the world. So it goes out to our whole met, unmet, everybody database in the form of multiple emails, because we did a save the date, a don't forget, call us, 3 different emails that had gone out. We do a slide broadcast that morning to remind them to call in. We've done social media posts and we create an event. So we're looking to grow our database. We want people who we don't know. The fun part about it is I'm finding that people may have been an old web lead that all we had was their name and an email, and then they're calling in to win. So what are we getting now? Now they're a Met, because we've had a conversation, we've got all their contact information, and then they may even share a referral with us. One was so funny because it was a lady who had actually bought a house. She'd been an old lead. She'd actually already bought a house with another agent, but she referred a family member to us just because we had a giveaway. So how fun is that? Now we're going to get to group her into our database, and obviously a referral as well. So those are ways that you get to have fun. All of the things that we do, all the events that we do, we attach a video to it. So it's going to go out again, sharing who we are, what we do, what our mission and our purpose is. And our mission and our purpose as a team is to deliver an amazing customer experience. And here's the ways that we're going to do that. Something that we utilize on our team is I love to teach and train. And so I teach a class called Customer Experience. And there's the 5S model inside of that. And with that, that means that you're going to make sure you set expectations with your clients on the front end. You're going to serve them at a really high level and have systems around how you do that. You're going to survey them along the way. You're going to check in through the transaction. How you doing? You doing okay? This also, I loop in asking for reviews. When's the best time to ask them for a review? When they're happy. We know that things can happen at the end, right? And then one of my most favorite of the 5S's is surpass. So what this means is, how do we surprise and delight them along the way? Inside of a real estate transaction, and this would really be in the under contract to the closing period, we know there's so many opportunities for things to go wrong, and there's times that we could celebrate. So is there something along the way that you can surprise and delight them? Like we came up with, when they go under contract, so this works for buyers or sellers, when they go under contract, we're going to give them some little bubble, some little rosé champagnes and 5 moving boxes, and say, congratulations, now it's time to start packing. So that is an extra effort on our part that just wows them along the way. And then the final S is sustain. And sustain means that you're sharing with them that this is not the end. Just because you're closing on your home, this is not the end of our relationship. And so for me, as the team leader of the team, my job at that point is to call all the clients and say thank you so much for allowing us to help you. So if you don't have a team, it's you, and you're calling on day 1 or day 2 after closing, and you're checking in. How are you? You getting settled? Do you need anything? See, I used to be so afraid of making those calls because I was afraid they'd tell me everything that went wrong with the house, all the things that they didn't realize. And you know what? I got over that, because now if they do share that with me, I can be the hero, because maybe I can send a handyman over or a contractor or somebody to help ease that pain. And that's what our job is. Our job is to be the hero and help them, even after closing. And so for us, I call, I thank them, I make sure that we delivered on our promise. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how did we do? We had a goal of delivering this amazing client experience on a scale of 1 to 10, and they'll say, oh, it was a 9 or a 10. Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Most people will search for an agent online. So would you mind if I send you over a link real quick when we hang up, with a place for you to share your ideas and what you're and how we did on Google? They're like, yeah. Now guess what? They don't always do it. They say, yeah, I'll give you a review, and then they don't. So you have to have a system in place that nudges them and reminds them and follows up with them. Again, everything is a system, right? So that's my job. That's what I do. We have a team and a culture of productivity and giving back to the community. So that's another thing that I share with them when I'm checking in after closing is, something we love to do is to give back to our community. Who's your favorite local nonprofit that we can make a donation to on your behalf? And they'll tell us, or they don't have anybody. And what we do is we just make $100 donation to our client's favorite nonprofit. And some don't have one, some don't never get back to us. But if you sell 100 homes a year and you give away $100 per transaction, that's 10 grand you're giving back to your community. And make sure you tell people about that, because you didn't feel the impact of that $100 at each closing, but your community could sure feel the impact of that over time. So that's something that I think is really important, and that all loops back to our mission. Why are you doing this job? What do you care about? Who do you want to be at the end of the day? And how can you share that with your clients? Because that's who you're going to attract. They want to work with great people who care, and that's who you need to show up as.
Hey, Jenny, if they don't have a charity, that they're passionate about or whatever, do you put that money towards a charity that you and your team have adopted?
Yeah, we do. We just know that we're going to donate the $100 to the client's favorite nonprofit. And then I just know that we've got extra money. So what we'll do is that extra money could go towards something that's more strategic. Like we may make a $500 donation to the food bank or to another nonprofit. So it's still kind of tabbed as money to give away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, love it. All right, do I need to check the chat box for questions? Oh my gosh, yeah. So
while you do that, Jenny, I wanted to let people know that there is a system out there for getting those online reviews. It's called Rate My Agent. There's a level, a free level, where you can just get on and put your information in and be able to start sending out the links for your clients to review you. And then there's an upper level that costs, that has a cost to it. But just to get started with it, I'd go Rate My Agent. It's within our MLS, and choose the basic and get started with those reviews, because that is very important.
Yeah, so you guys, I had this short period of time to tell you all the ways that we've found success in our business over 19 years. So obviously I can't give you a snapshot summary or a quick pill to take to know everything. I did just recently create a 3-hour workshop that's called Mirror My Business, because I get hit up all the time of how do you do this? How do you do this? Well, guess what? It's all in my database. It's all in my Google Drive. I have all of these different documents. I love 135s. I love systems. I love checklists, and I love sharing them, because I've learned that my passion and purpose is to empower and share with real estate agents, because I know that if I can succeed at this, y'all can too. And I love sharing and giving back. So if you want more information, just as a quick little snapshot, go and just ask to join my Facebook group, Your Journey with Jennie, Jennie, and then you can find more info in there. And I'm happy to share. I'm happy to pass things along. And thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you,
Can I
Jenny.
ask one more question real quick?
Yes.
You got your Mirror My Business, and then you've got Implement My Business. What's the difference between the two?
Yeah, so I just launched these last month. So thank you for asking, because I was like, okay, I'm going to put 3 hours together of a workshop where we just knock it out. I'm going to talk about your mindset and database and all the systems and all the things. And as I was going through this, I'm like, there's so much that I couldn't even fit into 3 hours. So then I decided, okay, well, I'm going to take a step further and Implement My Business, because like you guys, you take classes and you hear great ideas and then it sits over here on your shelf and you never do it. So the Implement My Business is getting you into action and actually having some homework and accountability.
Sounds great to me. I'll be looking into that. I did request to join your group while we were talking. So thank you, Jenny, for your time. Greatly appreciated. Anybody else have a last minute question?
You
When
guys
are
are,
you and James going to get together again?
what's that?
When are you and James going to get together again for another road show?
Yeah, I spend every morning with him. If you want to chime in on the Pivot morning call, I always get to see him. Today, if you were on the call, he said, all right, now hang up the phone and call somebody and tell them you care about them. So I called him immediately and I told him how much I care about him.
Nice. Very nice. Yeah, he's a great guy. And yeah, I'm on there in the mornings too. It's a great way to start the day. Yep.
All right, you guys have a great one. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you, Jenny. Have a great one.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Okay, guys. One other thing I wanted to mention is we've got some great events coming up. Tomorrow, the Clearwater team meeting is going to talk about Master the Escalation Clause. So you might want to join that at noon. Also on Thursday at 11 a.m. is Commissions in Command, because we are going to be going away from the green sheet and all of your commission structure, all of that needs to go into command under commissions. So you have to start learning that. So if you're
September 1st is the cutoff date for green sheets for anybody who has not seen those updates. So you have to learn that before then.
Okay, so get a jump start on it tomorrow at 11 a.m. and listen in.
When's the escalation clause meeting?
It's
I need to
tomorrow
go.
at noon.
Tomorrow at noon. Okay. Thank you.
Yep. So tomorrow at 11 is Commissions in Command, and then tomorrow at 12 noon is the Master the Escalation Clause with the Clearwater team meeting. So that's the link you'll need to click on. And then on Friday, we have Gary's monthly mastermind, which I sure hope everybody will be on that. That is the best thing. I always love going to that.
Last month, only 13 people from all 3 market centers showed up to Gary's mastermind for the first 10 minutes until we spammed everybody. So please, 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 please go to it. It is so important.
What time is it?
Noon.
Friday.
Yep.
Right.
Gary's is always at noon. Or no, it's not always at noon, but he's on Friday at noon. Okay. All right, anybody else have something good they want to share, or a new listing that's coming up, a buyer need, anything like that?
Donna, I just wanted to say, make sure and go to that escalation class. I just won yesterday in a multiple offer situation by using the escalation clause. So it's very important to know that right now.
Very
What time
good.
is that class? I'm sorry.
The escalation class is at noon, and it's the Clearwater team meeting tomorrow.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
so on the
Sorry,
calendar,
Susan.
it'll say Clearwater team meeting. You might not see the escalation part.
Okay. Sorry, Susan.
No worries.
Did I see something about mega camp or something on the slide? Do we know when that's going to be and what the cost is?
Yes, it is going to be September 15th to the 17th. There's apparently early bird pricing right now, but I don't see it. I think you have to go through the steps before it. Oh, okay, never mind. I see it here. So general admission is $109. And yeah, so it's $109.
It's going to be virtual, isn't it? I mean, it's all video.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is all virtual.
Hey, Donna.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, I just wanted to share, I actually showed a D.R. Horton property that was a brand new build in Elora in Tampa, and the client purchased it, and it is by far one of the easiest transactions so far that I've ever done, because their sales rep takes over everything. You know, he writes the contract and schedules the home inspections, and it was just a very wonderful experience with the D.R. Horton rep, Ken Wazzle. And my client also got the $10,000 closing cost bonus. So definitely good.
I closed with them too. They built the little townhouse subdivision by Largo Mall called Whittington. It's a gated community.
Sure.
And I had a buyer bought in there while they were under construction, and that was DR Horton. And I too had a great experience as well. So thanks for sharing that, Alana.
Yeah, the important thing is we always have to remember our new homes division, because they, you know, they do reap a little small token of benefit from us going through, saying we're affiliated with them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I think that about wraps it up, unless somebody's got anything else they wanted to share. I don't think there's anything on the chat that I need to address. I think everything's been addressed there. Any
You did
questions?
an outstanding job, Donna.
Oh, thanks, Garrett. Thanks,
You're
Garrett. I
welcome.
appreciate that. Okay. Well, let's everybody go out and start making some calls and start adding people to your database. Today's
And
the
make some
day.
videos.
That too. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Donna.
Thanks,
You're
Donna.
You're welcome.